and welcome to Racing Vtuber Rundown, your one-stop podcast for all things Racing Vtuber news and events. I'm Kaito Nasa, and I'm back with a friend of mine and now teammate.
Oh, yes, I am Umbras. I thought you were going to say the name as well. I'm like, oh, okay.
I'm like, that was your cue, man!
Yes, hi, I'm Umbras. I am a deprived engineer racing VTuber that is now part of TechnoBurst racing team. And it's just been a very interesting, very exciting, and I've learned a lot in my first season with the team as well. Holy moly, we'll probably be going over at least a little bit of that during the podcast. That's for sure.
I know for a fact we'll be going over the results of the points because holy cow.
Yes, the Vtracc season was very close. It's not been finalized yet, at least as of this recording. We're still waiting on the penalty points to be applied for the Monza round and everything like that. And
but I don't think you've got
provisional-
penalties, so I think you're in the clear.
I think I'm in the clear. I unless I did something stupid that someone's going to report me for, I should be in the clear. And even if I do get reported and it's like a 10-second penalty, I was far enough ahead of third place. So I think we should be good. I hope.
But hey, yeah, you're a part of TechnoBurst, and actually, you and I together form the USA branch now. So how does that feel?
Oh my gosh, it is amazing. I know I was racing solo for a little bit during like the end of 2024, kind of after the dissolution, shall we say, of UK racing. I'm not gonna touch too much on that. But yeah, so I was running a solo for a bit as a free agent, but it is good. It is good to be part of a team again. Racing under the blue and orange instead of the purple and blue. So a little bit different colors, a little bit different team dynamics and all that stuff. But it's been really really fun.
What's been interesting is that a lot of the former UKI members are on TechnoBurst now too. So it's like it's like kind of like a phoenix. It's a death and a rebirth, but you know, hopefully better team management and like cohesion, I think is the word.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Like we got a lot of great people and everything. Like yeah, I mean, outside of myself, you got Polu Kai, you got Greg. Like there's a lot of people being kind of brought over from the UK peeps, that really want to do like the racing and all that stuff as well. And I mean, to be fair though, like a lot of the people that were part of UK, like they did go on to like do really good stuff with the racing as well. Like Kohai's been doing a lot of the stuff with the M Plower racing team and everything, doing some good stuff there, as well as being doing quite a bit of the announcing for the track series as well in Santa Cosa Competizione. Then you have Titan Jojo, who outside of his work with the RTI and everything like that, he's been doing a little bit of free agent stuff here and there as well. A lot of really great driving. I mean, keeping tabs on him. As of this recording, he recently did some Sebring work with some of the TechnoBurst peeps as well, which is really cool. You have Asa also and Queen's Design. Absolutely just really quick now. Like her pace genuinely scares me a little bit. Like before, it was kind of like, okay, yeah, I can maybe keep up with her and everything. Now she is very quick now. Like I don't know what kind of secrets they're sharing over in the Queen Design team, but holy moly, like that she do be speedy. She do be a speedy cat girl.
I mean, they do have Ruby kind of as a in a coaching / advisory role, so there is that.
Yeah. And then Ruby also from the Queen's Design also doing the Samantha 10 racing as well. Like a lot of us have been like moving on up and everything. Like it's been crazy just how quickly things change for a lot of us.
Meanwhile, there's me still in AM, still running out of talent.
Oh, don't worry, buddy. I will drag you to pro whether you like it or not. It'll be like the meme where the cat gets yoinked.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Oh, don't worry. Nobody's ready. But then that happens and you're like, oh, all right, well, better tighten my belt, step up. And then you kinda end up doing it. Like for a while I was like, oh yeah, I'll happily be silver class back when that was a thing in the track series. I'm like, yeah. I'll be fine there. And now it's like, oh shoot. There are times when I'm occasionally in contention for like podiums and like consistent podiums on like the Vtracc and even some of the TGT races where it's like, damn, okay. Where'd that speed come from?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to figure that out because the season for like the main season for every all of the series ending for now, which they'll be back for the summer season. We've got the Continental Circus coming up, and
Yes.
I chose to be in the GT3 class, which is the faster class.
You're gonna be in the same class as I am, so I think this is gonna be it's gonna be your first multi-class in general, if memory serves me correctly.
Other than my failed stints at Petit Le Mans in iRacing, yes.
Yes. Okay. So at least in ACC, then first multi-class, and this is gonna be my first time as the faster class because I'm also gonna be in the GT3, with Greg as my teammate for the GT4s for the Continental Circus. So I have been watching a whole bunch of videos of both the GT3 and the GT4 laps around things like the first race is coming up as at least as of this recording. The first race is coming up on this Saturday. It's at Bathurst. I know that's a track you love oh so dearly.
Kill me. In Minecraft.
In Minecraft. In Rainbow Six Siege. In something.
In Valorant.
Monza Turn 1.
Oh god, yeah. I don't know what's worse, Bathurst, the mountain on Bathurst, or Monza Turn 1, because I got killed in Monza Turn 1.
I will fully admit I much prefer. You could put me for like 2 hours in Bathurst, and it is less stressful than an hour at Monza.
I actually, unironically, was doing some practice at Bathurst, and I was getting my first taste of what it was like to pass the GT4s.
Yes, how is that?
Nerve-wracking, because I seemed to always catch them on the downhill of the mountain, which was horrifying because, hi, I don't have the skill to pass going down the mountain. I'm not gonna do that. I will much rather be patient.
No, but that's a thing though. That is the thing with the multi-class, especially with some of those tighter, twistier tracks, is especially if the slower class doesn't quite play ball, and they don't always have to play ball either. There's sometimes where they did like it'd be more dangerous for either of you two for them to try to facilitate a pass instead of them just going full send down the mountain with their optimal line and all that stuff. So sometimes you just gotta kind of wait until you can get an opening and then get by. But especially for like the hour-long race or even longer than that, like it's one of those things where it helps out a lot more to be a little bit more patient and then try to like be super like aggressive and try to shave off as much time as possible because you tap someone on the mountain and everything, and not only do you potentially end one person's race, but you can end your race as well, get caught up in that, and then it's any time you would have saved is gone.
What is time saving? I don't know what that is. No, but it's especially since I'm driving the Mustang. Like I have fully committed to the Mustang now. That is the car I will be driving for the rest of my career in TechnoBurst.
Okay, all right. That is the one you're locked in for now.
That is the one that I am going to be locked in for now. And honestly, I've managed to start to learn the nuances of it, which is interesting because everyone's like, oh, the Mustang is great for beginners, but then it's also the Mustang isn't great for beginners because X, Y, and Z. And I'm finding that it's just nuanced. It's just a very nuanced car.
Wait, who's saying the Mustang is great for beginners?
A lot of the esports guys, because it is very stable. And I mean, they're not wrong. It is stable, but it's also like too stable because it is very understeery by nature.
I could be mean. Esports people have very, very different understanding of what is easy and what is.
No, yes, exactly. That's why I'm like, I don't believe the esports people, but I can see where they're coming from because it is like way too stable sometimes.
Mm. I personally don't quite vibe with the Mustang as much. And this is coming from someone who mains the Merc GT3, which some people would, to a layman would be like, it's similar-ish vehicles, front engine, high torque, naturally aspirated, V8 motor, that type of vehicle. But it feels like such a different beast to drive the Mustang versus the Merc.
Oh no, it is. It
Um,
is.
mhm,
The engine, I think it sits way further up front on the Mustang. And
mhm.
so you've got um a lot more of the weight in the front compared to the Merc.
Yeah. And the suspension just feels a little bit wonky as well. Um, I don't know. It's not a vehicle I have particularly vibed with. Um, and I've done a couple of different vehicles. Like obviously the main one is the Merc, but I've raced the Aston GT3 as well. For a couple of enduros, and I've done the 296s. Those are kind of like the big three that I've done a significant amount of drive time in. And like so I can kind of somewhat adapt to most vehicles. My main is still the Merc, obviously.
Hmm.
Um, but the Mustang, like there's a few vehicles that I don't particularly gel with. Most of them are mid-engine, twitchy little buggers that I don't particularly like. But the Mustang is one of the few front engine vehicles that I drive, and I'm like, I don't I don't feel like I can comfortably push with this.
Maybe not this one.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we've ever fully talked about it, but like, why did you choose the Merc specifically as your main in like
Oh.
ACC?
That's a good question. So, and a little bit of backstory is, during my first season of Vtracc, which was actually the first season of Vtracc, because prior to that it was the IVGTC, the International VTuber GT Championship, whatever. The name changed literally like the very first season I did that. So that was an interesting experience for sure. Um, Little bit of lore back there. But I was in the old Mercedes, and so the funny story with that. Prior to doing ACC and everything, most of my sim racing stuff was Gran Turismo Sport, Gran Turismo 7, and the Dirt Rally and Dirt Rally 2 as well. So most of like the rally sims, as
Hmm.
someone slams the door. Um, and it's so obviously in Dirt Rally you don't really have your GT3s and all that stuff. So I'm like, well, what vehicle do they mainly use in Gran Turismo 7 and Gran Turismo Sport? And the two vehicles I used primarily in those games were the Mazda Vision, which, well, doesn't exist in ACC because it's a fiction it's a fictional Vision Gran Turismo car. So that one was a bit out of the question. And then I use the AMG, the Merc AMG as my other vehicle, my other main vehicle. So I'm like, well, I like the way it handled in Gran Turismo 7, Gran Turismo Sport. And so I picked the Merc AMG GT3. But this was before, like, I had bought the DLCs. Like, I had just bought the baseline game. And the AMG Evo, was part of the DLC. So I'm like, okay, it's got the 2015 Merc in. I'm gonna drive that. I'm gonna make a livery for that. And then I realized, oh shoot, the series uses DLC tracks and everything. So I just bought all the DLC as well. And then I realized, oh, they have the 2020 version as well. Well, I mean, it's basically the same car. Like, it can't be that different, right? Um, They are very different. I mean,
Famous
they're
last
similar
words.
enough. Famous last words. Exactly. Well, it was also one of those things where I'm like, I've already made the livery. I've already fiddled around with ACC's livery editor and messed around with that and GIMP and everything to try to make a livery. I'm not gonna try to do it again for the Evo like a week before the race. I'm just gonna stick it out this season with the old Merc. um, so literally my first ever season of Vtracc, I was in the old Mercedes trying to just figure everything out, just trying not to crash into people, fumbling my way through. Like I put in like race fuel during qualifying, so I'm like, well, it can't affect it that much, right? It does. It does actually affect it that much. Oh, dude, I could go down like the list because I remember I missed the first one at Silverstone, but like all of the other tracks, I remember like the different mistakes I made because I made a list to like actually learn from. Because like at the time I was like, okay, how do I actually get better? How do I make sure like I don't crash anyone? How do I make sure like I don't do anything stupid?
Do you know what it's
Um,
giving me flashbacks of? It's giving me flashbacks of my rookie season.
yeah. I'm sure if you ask like a lot of people that have been doing this for a while, that try to remember their rookie season, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I did that too, because I was a dummy."
Oh yeah,
Like,
I used the safe preset and used
mm-hmm,
race fuel.
yep. Or one that I didn't realize until the final race of my first ever season. So when you go from like, your practice to quali to race and everything like that, it doesn't like reset your tire wear for like that specific set because it's supposed to be those sets of tires you use for like the race weekend and everything. And you just change them out before you go on to the next session. But when you load a setup, it puts you on the set you previously like the set you had set for that setup. So what I ended up doing, and you can see where this is going already,
Oh no.
is during a race weekend, during practice, during quali, and during the very first stint of the race. So that is, for those of you unaware of the format of Vtracc, it's, 30 minutes of practice, 20 minutes of quali, and about 30-ish minutes for your first stint of tires, give or take about 10, depending on your how you strategize and everything like that. Um, all three of those sessions, so about an hour and a half, was on the same tires.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Isaac.
Yes.
Oh no.
So you know how you have the tire when it starts at like at 3-ish, 3.00, and it goes down to like 2, 1, whatever.
Yeah.
During one race, after that ended, and it sets you back to like the next session or whatever, and it still doesn't fully like reset your tires and everything. I went into my setups for the final race and I looked and I'm like, wow, my one set of tires is like super, super one. It was like at 1.2.
Isaac. Isaac, no.
Isaac, yes. And
No.
I mentioned that, and I forget who it was, and someone in the voice chat was like, "Wait, did you use the same tires for like all like the entire race?" And I'm like, "Oh, I loaded a setup. It should put me on new tires, right?" And they're like, "Oh no, it puts you on the tires that setup saved with. So if you save that setup with set two, it'll put you in set two every time you load that setup." I'm like, "Oh, I wish I knew that."
I wish I knew that.
I had
Oh no.
unintentionally put myself at a disadvantage for that entire season.
Oh god, I just realized I did the same exact thing. I just realized back
Wait,
in my first season, I did the same exact thing.
I
Oh
think to be fair, I think
god.
everybody, because like, okay, to be fair, and I will fully admit, as far as the simulators go, I am a bit more of an ACC simp,
Hmm.
just because as a full comprehensive package. for GT racing, I think that is one of the better ones on the market. Like dollar per dollar, I think you get your best experience with the set of Corsa Competizione.
For now.
Especially if you're doing either like league stuff or LFM stuff or that type of stuff.
I will asterisk that by saying for now.
For now, yes. As of this recording, unless some other sim blitzes onto the market and like drastically changes the game, or obviously if the servers for Assetto Corsa Competizione ever get shut down or whatever. Granted, the servers for the base Assetto Corsa is still up, so I don't expect that to happen anytime soon. Um, but like dollar, it is my favorite sim, and I think I get the most bang for my buck out of that.
Yeah.
As much of an ACC simp as I am, I will fully admit a lot of the stuff in that game, the game does not really actually explain. You got to find like third-party guides and like other people that have done this for years, going, "Oh yeah, the game's stupid. Here's how you actually do it," and you're like, "Ah, okay,
The
that makes sense."
the one thing I really hate the most about ACC, because I like my primary sim right now because of my PC is ACC. Um, the only thing I hate is the fact that like in order to get like stupid fast setups, it's like the
Hmm.
most unrealistic settings on the car ever.
Yes, I will concede that as well. The spring rates down to nothing, or it's the min max setup basically, where you put some things like to absolutely maximum and a couple other things to like the bare minimum, and that's how it makes a car like able to just absolutely like UFO float over the curbs and all that stuff. Yes,
Alex with the 296.
yes. The esports setup.
I know, because I run the esports setups and I still think that they're stupid, but that's just my
Yes.
opinion.
But if it's stupid and it works, it's still stupid, but at least you get an edge.
If it's stupid and it works, I mean, it's still stupid, but you get an edge. I'm gonna
Yep.
use that now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
uh,
Have you thought
but
about? Because I
yeah.
know, I know that some people in like some of the staff in track have talked about when AC Evo drops, either
Mhm.
moving to AC Evo or potentially moving on to LMU. Have you looked at like the development of AC Evo? Because I don't have Evo, but I have LMU and I can't run it quite yet. But have you looked at like
I
LMU or AC Evo and looked at what could be potentially the future in track or?
Oh, that is a good question. Obviously, I am not on track staff. Um, and I probably won't be for at least a little while. Whether I don't know, it's still up in the air. There's just a lot of other
And it's not like a final
like
thing
it's one of
either.
the yeah. Well, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like honestly, I wouldn't mind being like part of track staff, but it's also like one of those things where I already have enough commitments to already, especially with like the new job and all that stuff as well. It's been a little bit interesting. Um, but in terms of the LMU, AC Evo, and all that stuff, obviously both of them are still in the early access. But as of right now, LMU seems to be the more, in terms of content, the more comprehensive and complete simulator of the two. And kudos, please do not like, the send me a horse head or what have you. Um, but it's just one of those things like regardless of the technical specifications and pretty graphics and all of that stuff. Like you look at the cars in AEC Evo, right?
Hmm.
And a lot of them, it's if you want to have races, it'd be like one make races. Like I think the only two cars in AEC Evo currently, as of this recording, that are somewhat on pace with each other is the Lancia Delta Integrale and the Ford Escort Cosworth, both of them being four-wheel drive Group A road going cars from like the 90s. So they are close enough on pace in theory that like you could have two cars within a similar quote unquote class. But like a lot of this stuff, like what else are you gonna race a Porsche Cup car with outside of other Porsche Cup cars? Like there is not really anything else on the current car roster in AZ Evo that can race against the Porsche Cup car. Or that electric car. The little it's adorable looking. It's not sold in the States, but that I think it's a Renault.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
But like that one, like there was nothing else that's anywhere similar to its performance specifications in AZ Evo. So you want to do a race with that, and it just be a one make race with that little adorable little electric car. So while it is great from a technical perspective, and I understand why they want to do that initially to get that vehicle variety, especially after ACC with its primarily GT3, GT4, GT2, and occasional one make series cars as well. I get why that they would want to have that initial vehicle variety that they can then build off of and kind of formulate their own classes. But on the other hand, it also means that as of right now, for like league racing, I don't really see there being too much to really offer on that front because a lot of people, the reason a lot of people do like the GT3s and like that type of stuff is these are cars. One, they got all the driver assists and everything like that, so they are a little bit less of a handful to drive. They can still be quite difficult, especially when you're absolutely pushing the limits of these vehicles and, trying to shave off every last tenth of a second per lap and, all of that. And you're racing side by side on tracks that are probably a little bit too small for those cars, like Zandvoort or whatever. Um, but generally speaking, they are a little bit easier to drive, but also they are, from makes and models that most automotive enthusiasts look at and can recognize, like, oh, that's an NSX. Oh, that's a Mercedes AMG. Oh, that's an Audi R8. Oh, that's a Lamborghini Huracan. Like you look at them and you can see exactly what kind of car you want. And so you have the different types of cars with different driving styles, with different driver wants and needs. And again, some people pick certain cars because like I like the way it looks or sounds. Like one of the track drivers, Adrian, absolutely loves the V12 Vantage because, well, I mean, it is a V12. Like that thing. Like you listen to that and it's like you reach nirvana. Like it sounds so good. um, but like not as many people would probably be interested in like a one make race. I would because I like the kind of little bean cars and like driving some of those vehicles and everything. But a vast majority of people probably wouldn't, at least from my point of view. Whereas with LMU, again, you have your prototypes, your LMHs, your LMDHs, and all that stuff. You have your LMP2s, and you have your GT3 class cars as well. Granted with the ACO's BOP instead of with the SRO's BOP. And so the pace is a little bit different. Like I was watching Alex take the Aston Martin V8 Vantage GT3 around Spa in LMU. And normally in ACC, like you run like a minute, sorry, a 2 minutes 18 lap time. That's pretty quick. That's pretty solid. But like he was running like a 2 minutes 22, I think it was 2 minute 21, somewhere in that range. So the car was a little bit down on power, a little bit slower. So I think that would probably be something for people to get used to, and also the multi-class thing with, especially with the faster vehicles like the prototypes, which don't have things like your ABS and all of that. I'd imagine that would be something for people to really need to get used to as well because myself included, I don't trust myself in anything faster than a GT3. I am old. I am old. My reaction times aren't nearly as quick as some of y'all ripper snappers
I'm not that
and
young.
everything.
I'm not that young anymore.
Yeah.
I just sound young.
Yes. The forever youthful voice as the body ages, and you're like, oh wow. I was hoping to kind of have that grizzled old voice and everything. Nope, I'm still the peachy keen, peachy keen voice. But the body shows the mileage on it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Especially the knees. Especially the knees.
Mm.
No, do you think
But
if we ever did like if Track ever did, or if someone in Track wants to host like an event that's like an LMU, do you think that like multi-class would be the go-to? Because I could see like GT3 only, but I could also see like, oh yeah, if you're gonna be in pro, you have to use. Let's not go straight to the GTPs, but we'll go to LMP2.
maybe that's a tough one because especially with some people, myself included. When you're fast with one type of car, that may not always transfer over to a different style of driving, a different style of vehicle as well. Like I am again, like I'm faster in the slower cars, even in the ACC. So like your GT4s and your M2s. I'm faster in those types of cars than I am in the GT3s because those are pure like mechanical grip cars. Um, so those that may be comfortable and may be quick in a GT3 may not always be ready for the LMP2 or what have you. Whereas there are other people, for example, like Greg. Greg is very, very good in prototypes and like the high downforce cars and all of that stuff. And in those types of vehicles, he genuinely blows me out of the water in terms of lap time, in terms of consistency, in terms of vehicle control. Um, because I got to see it during the practicing for the 24 hours of Daytona in iRacing uh 2 months ago now.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where it really depends. I'm not sure. I think it would probably be you have to pick the class you choose. But once you pick that class, I think, then you got kind of, stick with it, at
Hmm.
least for that season. But I'm not sure having like a pro and am with the pros going to the LMP2s and the AMs going to, the GT3s would always work. That'd be very tricky because
Right.
you don't want to split it up too much because then a lot of people would be like, well, I got no one to race with now, so what's the point of practicing and waking up early to do these races and everything like that? Because if you do like a pro and am for the LMP2s, and then a pro and am for the GT3s as well, a field of 30 cars, which is normally a very strong field, and even with an Element 2 and a GT3 field being evenly split 15 and 15, that's still very solid. If you split it again, that's, the 7 cars, which
Oh no,
may.
I meant like just splitting it like just pro, like if you're in the pro class you're using the LMP2, if you're in the AM class you're using the GT3s, but then that runs into the whole, well, like you said, some drivers aren't fast in the LMP2 and some just aren't going to go into the LMP2.
Yeah. Like I myself, I'll fully admit, I don't feel comfortable in like much faster cars than GT3s. I probably will eventually get up to speed with that once I do more of that type of stuff. But like, I don't know. I feel more comfortable in like the mechanical grip focused vehicles, the small beans and everything.
to
I don't know. It's vehicles I feel comfortable with.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I come from a NASCAR background, so like I went from
Mm.
NASCAR video games to I think a little bit of iRacing, and now I'm in ACC, and that's why I'm like, oh, GT3s, that's fun. I don't trust myself in anything other than like the hard top.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like I even during my time when I was doing iRacing, I don't think I touched the open wheelers all that much. A little bit of practice, but I don't think I did any like official racing. Just because it was one of those things where it's like, okay, I can be fast, but like I don't trust my wheel to wheel racing with those. Because especially with those, like you barely touch someone and it's your wheels getting interlocked and it's a massive crash and all of that. And it's yeah.
Let's reel it back to Vtracc because this season was wild.
Oh my gosh, yes. This season, so this season, for those of you that aren't aware, I'm gonna go to the standings, the provisional standings, or in the Vtracc series page.
Bada bada
And
bada
for
bada
the
ba.
for the AM class, all right, the first two are separated provisionally by 4 points, with third place being only 13 points off of second. And then like Again, fourth and fifth separated by 3 points. Sixth and seventh being literally tied provisionally right now at 54 points. Eighth and
What?
ninth being provisionally tied at 52 points. Like, it is very, very close. Like, yeah, like provisionally right now, Kaito, you were tied with Mentrix at
What?
52 points. Yes.
Holy cow.
Like, it was like battles up and down the field. And in terms of the points as well, like, it is very, very close. And that's not just the AM class. Like, if you go to the pro class, all right,
Oh, Pro is
the pro
crazy.
class, pro is crazy. All right, first place, 80 points provisionally. Second place, 77. Third place, 77. Fourth place, 70. Fifth place, 61. Sixth place, 50. And then seventh and eighth separated by 2 points, 45 and 43. Like, it is ridiculous the sheer amount of like how close some of these battles were.
Oh, and not even just points, just like on the track too, because you had Ruby
Mm-hmm.
and Midnight fighting it out in Pro a lot. And then like
Mm-hmm.
during the second half of the season, like you really came alive and were fighting for those positions as well.
Yeah, I finally got the Hope Diamond that was iRacing off of my neck. I am no longer cursed with that. You can see when I finally removed the diamond and like actually got halfway decent because like literally like the first two races like eighth place, and then round three finally finally got out of the slump, and it's third, second for like the final 4 rounds, and it was just ridiculous as well. Like, I went into the championship thinking, oh yeah, I'll do the best I can, try to out qualify and outscore some of my teammates and everything like that. Maybe get a podium here or there, all of that stuff. Um, and it was it was a pleasant surprise to be sure. Um, but holy moly, it was some of the most stressful racing as well. Like, I gave my all for this season, and it shows. Oh my word.
Oh gosh. I mean, we had Kat in her first
Mm-hmm.
season fighting Jordan a lot on the track for, you
Uh-huh.
know,
And both of them trading wins and podiums and all of that stuff as well. Just absolutely ridiculous. And Jordan, he started out in the rider as well. Really, bringing that vehicle to life, especially in round 3 and 4 at Imola and Brands Hatch. Really, really doing well. You had some really good races, or like Brands Hatch, like on pace. And this is something I've noticed. And I've kind of made like a mental note of on like your high speed, high commitment, sometimes high attrition tracks. Those are the tracks you do really well on. Brands Hatch, Watkins Glen, probably Laguna Seca too, if I were a betting man. Like those types of tracks where it's just a lot of your fast, mid to high speed, flowing corners where you don't have the tarmac runoff, you just have like dirt and grass and all of that stuff. Like you were able to, on pace and consistency, just do really, really well. And I that's impressive because those are the types of tracks I usually struggle a bit with on as well. And you like just those are the tracks that click with you, which is really cool.
I think part of it is the fact, with the NASCAR background, those are the
Hmm.
types of road courses that they have, because they don't really have like, maybe like in the first couple of corners, at like Sonoma and Watkins Glen, there's that little bit of there's that runoff there, right? But for the majority of the course, it is, dirt, gravel,
Hmm.
grass. So that could
Yeah.
be where I have that skill set, is because, oh yeah, I had to do this in a car that doesn't like to turn.
Yes, the big Chungus NASCAR stock cars, tube frame. monstrosities that they are. Not fucking
I
cars
still
though,
love
but
them.
like very, very different. Oh yeah, for sure. But very, very different than a GT3. But even then, like it's still really cool seeing like that's really kind of like the driving really come alive on those types of tracks.
I feel like
Like
that. I feel like my other tracks are starting to get there too, because like
Mhm.
literally before I was doing Vtracc, I would have to, and even like at the start of the season, I had to, even if it was a track I was at before, I had to look at a track guide. But
Yeah.
um, doing the practice for Bathurst, I kind of remembered where my breaking points were, and I've only raced on Bathurst
Yes.
twice.
Mm-hmm.
But I was
But
like,
after you do it enough times, it gets into a point where you kind of have that almost muscle memory. And that's a good thing because once you do that, once you get that consistency down, then you can begin thinking, okay, well, how do I, especially once you begin looking at like other people's lap times as well, and the sectors that they maybe, have like a couple tenth advantage to you, you can kind of look at, okay, instead of trying to figure out just controlling your car and everything, now you're like, all right, how do I then get the that extra bit of speed, and how do I consistently do that? And then you begin kind of looking at each individual corner, each section of corners, and you're like, okay, this is how they're getting more speed down the straight, or maybe this is how they're getting a better run out of these corners and everything. And it becomes one of those things where you eventually, almost instinctually, get that feel for. Obviously, the analytics and doing the telemetry analysis, I do highly recommend that, even for people that aren't as like technically minded, because it is something that kind of gets you into the thinking of, okay, why is this faster instead of just how to be faster. You get into the why thinking as well, which is really, really, really helpful. Like for example, Monza. Almost every single corner at Monza, and there's not many. There's like six key areas. You get the first chicane, you get the second chicane, Lesmo 1, Lesmo 2, Ascaria chicane, and Parabolica, basically. But each one of those, you're basically the entire point of every single one of those corners is how do I get the exit out of these corner dead on perfect so I get as much speed down the next straight as possible. And if my speed is the same regardless of which direction I'm kind of pointing, how do I minimize the distance so that way I shave off time that way as well? For example, like the exit at Parabolica, on lower downforce cars that are so very, very high power, like the GT2s, you do kind of run them out a little bit wide. One, it kind of saves the tires, and two, they got so much more power and a lot less downforce. So you do want to run them out wider so they don't shed speed. But in the high downforce cars like the GT3s, you can run them a bit tighter again on the exit to shave off a bit of distance, and that'll save you like an extra tenth or 2 tenths there, which is, on a track like Monza where there isn't a whole lot of places where you can gain or lose time. That is big.
yeah, no, for sure.
But yeah, that is. But like it starts to kind of become like that second nature of, okay, how do I get more extra speed, or how do I go through this, or this flow doesn't feel right even. Because I was talking with Greg, and he's more of a drive by feel type of driver. And he's like, yeah, sometimes I'll go through it and I'm like, this feels slow. And I'll take a look at someone else driving through. And he's like, yeah, that looks a lot more fluid. That looks like the car like more natural, like the car actually wants to like behave there. And I'll try to copy that way. And like it's just really cool. But like no matter how you kind of look at it more analytically or more like kind of go by feel type of driving, as you do it more and more and you begin to like actively think about like where you're gaining and losing time and everything, it starts to become kind of second nature, as to figuring out how to kind of get faster. It's funny, like the more you practice and the more you kind of get used to like the vehicle handling and everything, the easier it is to get faster. But then you also have the on the other hand, you have the law of diminishing returns as well, because there's a certain limit to how fast you can get as well. So it's the two constantly fighting against each other. Every time you do a little bit more practice, you go back into a track that you've raced at a couple of times before. with a fresh mentality, a fresh setup, and all that. And it's fun.
Oh, so there's mind games, that that play a big factor, and I there's a lot of times I lose those. Like, if since we're talking about the Vtracc season,
Mm-hmm.
you were in VC when I lost my cool a couple times, to say the least.
Yes, I mean, that happens with so many people. Like you have the very high intensity of the racing and everything. I mean, I don't think you were there for the TGT race, but I had a bit of a crash out there because someone literally just wrecked most of the pro field on like lap one, turn one,
Oh,
and it
are you talking
was
about the
just
final race for TGT?
yes, at Kialami,
Yes, I saw that on the
and
broadcast.
that was
I
if
saw it
you
on the
want to
broadcast. I was
VC
like,
there.
oh man, Isaac is livid. I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, I know for a fact Isaac is livid.
Yep. Oh my gosh, that entire race was just miserable. I managed to make a little bit of recovery drive back to P6 provisionally until penalties maybe get applied there. But uh oh gosh, yeah, like this is one of those things where you kind of had that build up of like the tension, the pressure, going through, you do the practice, you're like, okay, you kind of have a feel of roughly where you'd be in terms of like overall pace and everything like that. I doubt very many people put sandbag practice just to do those types of mind games because that's kind of silly. Then you do your quali, you're like, high intensity pushing, trying to get every last tenth and maybe jump up a place and on the starting grid and everything like that. And then you have the long waits for the formation lap. The lights go green, everyone is like all bunched up together, all side by side. Some people are trying to make it 3, sometimes 4 wide into the first turn. You're like, oh please, no wrecks, no wrecks. And you just see the massive pileup that you just can't avoid, and you're like, oh shit.
You know,
And it's that release attention then where it's just like, yeah, like everything that built up for it is just like now kind of crashing down. You're like, no. Oh, it's painful.
oh, I know for me at Monza in turn one, um, in the heat of the moment, I was livid at being taken out turn one.
Mm.
And then after the race, I look at the replay and I'm like, oh, okay, I see what happened. I've done that before in like solo, like single player or in practice where, I touched the grass and lost control. And all of a sudden I've just run into the back of someone and messed up their start of the race. And so
Yes.
Ian actually reached out to me after the race, was like, hey man, I ran into you, I didn't mean to do that. I was like, dude, I kind of was livid at the start. But looking back, it's no big deal. I saw that you got into the grass, it's racing. It happens.
Yeah.
In the heat of the
And that's
moment
what's
though,
funny.
we've
Yeah.
we've mentioned before, just, us in VC, because we were like, oh, let's compare like which drivers we would be for like NASCAR drivers on Radioactive, like who's in car communications are we more similar to.
Yes. Apparently, I'm Kurt Busch,
Kurt or Kyle, one of the two Bush
one of the Busch
brothers.
brothers. But both of them are equally kind of very heart on their sleeve type of drivers for sure.
And then you mentioned I was definitely more of the Dale Jr., where I'm like, I'm not cursing a whole lot, or try not to.
But you can tell he's upset.
Yes,
Yes.
you can tell when I am very much upset. Now I've got a question. Like, who do you think all the other like racing VTubers would be?
Oh gosh, that's a tough one. Um,
I could see Zool being Carl
because
Edwards, cracking jokes
yeah,
and stuff all the time.
yes. Okay, definitely a little bit of like that Carl Edwards and everything, where he's just kind of he's there to like he's he obviously works hard. He does a lot of the practice, all that stuff. But he's there to have fun. He's there to like vibe and everything like that. Like all his bros are there. He wants to all that fun stuff. But honestly, it's to be a tough one because outside of doing like being in the VC with the TechnoBurst guys, which honestly took a little bit of getting used to as well.
How
As even
How was
when I
that?
was
Like
with
that
UK.
adjustment?
Oh, it was so weird. Because like normally I do talk to myself a lot during the race. Um, please don't put me in the grippy socks in the pad room. It's no, it's more so just to kind of keep my head focused and all of that stuff. Kind of recover, and also sometimes just cursing at myself or other drivers as well. No hard feelings. It's one of those heat of the moment and all that stuff. Um, but going into that with like the TechnoBurst crew and everything, like the first couple rounds, it was a little bit disorienting, honestly, because like you'll be kind of like focusing in quality or whatever, and then someone will say something, you're like, wait, what? And then you'll just completely miss the apex of the turn, and you're like, oh shoot, crap, no. And it took me a little bit to kind of be able to like multitask or like kind of divide my attention between the actual driving and the racing as well. But even now, like you'll still see, and if you go back and watch some of like Kaito's little streams for like Vtracc, like there'll be especially during qualifying, you'll see like there'll be times where I don't say anything, and I'm kind of in that the chat we're locked in mode.
It's time to lock in.
Yes. And normally you'll see like someone ask me a question or whatever. Like especially during qualifying. And like it'll be like dead silent. And it'll see like the time card light up with like, like new personal best and everything. And then I'll like get back to actually like answering the question after the fact.
He's not ignoring us. He's just locked in.
Yes. I hear the question. Sometimes I don't fully process it, but I hear the question.
Oh no, I literally do the same thing. Like there will be times in qualifying where I shut up and I'm like, all right, time to lock in,
Yes.
Or like one of my still my favorite move I've ever done in a league race was my overtake of Okami in last season of Vtracc at Watkins.
Oh, at Watkins Glen?
Yeah,
Yes.
Kazul was checking in on me. He's like, hey, Kaito, how are you doing? I'm just like, I was just like, give me a second, and I just was
in
silent.
The bus stop as well. Like you sold him the dummy, and then you managed to get around that way. Like that was a good move. That was a good move. And for the editor, I'm challenging the editor now. The poor editor is gonna have to like dig through all the clips to try to find that. So that like they can post it up on the storyboard or the screen behind us.
I'm sure it won't be too hard to find it.
Yeah.
I say that it took me a little bit to find that clip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forget where you even posted it. I remember it very well.
It's still on Twitch.
You were coming up to the S's. Yeah. It's buried somewhere on Twitch, and I think you also have it in the TechnoBurst chat somewhere.
I don't remember if I do or not. I think I've got it saved on my PC though. So
yeah, but regardless, like that one was really, really good. I remember going up to the S's. You're in the Okami's draft, and you sell them the dummy going into the bus stop. They run wide, and then you're able to kind of cut through, and that was clean. That was smooth.
If I can do that in the Mustang, I'm going to retire.
Oh gosh, we don't need any more retirements. Come on, Bossman already retired. Jordan's retiring. Like, come on.
I mean, this is retired. Like, this is retirement number 6 for Jordan. I think I lost count.
Maybe, but I don't know. I think it may actually be kind of serious this time.
I mean, that
he's even stepping down from track staff as well.
Wait, he's actually stepping down from track staff?
Apparently so. Yeah.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. So this one may be legit, which a little bit of a shame, but like I can totally get that. He was one of the one of like the long standing drivers. So
Do you think Jordan will be doing other leagues then? Because I know, retirement. Because I know Syko's going to be doing a lot of other stuff. I think Syko's focusing on some other sims. I think Syko's also trying to like Which, by the way, Syko Kaiza has officially retired from Vtracc. I made the boss man
Rip
cry.
in peace, boss. Rip in peace, boss. We can still hear his voice.
I made the boss man cry on Saturday, and like full on. If you watch his VOD, like he actually does break down.
Dude, you made me cry too. All right, the touching like. Oh, the super nostalgic, like, even bringing in the old commentary from, like, the older days and everything, and showing some of, like, the old race replays, like, bro,
I've never done
like,
something like that before, so...
Why you gotta hurt me like that? I mean, don't get me wrong, it was genuinely beautiful and very well edited, and, granted, with the copyright music, it may be a bit difficult, but there's gotta be a way to showcase it to, like, the rest of the people that listen to this. It was.
I'll find a way. Don't worry.
You gotta find a way.
I'll find a way.
It was. Even if you gotta like change the music, even if you gotta change the music to something that's non-copyright but still like emotional and like the somber, slow build up with the orchestra and everything, that type of stuff. Like, oh my gosh, it's very well edited. It's very good stuff, and like. Dude, you like literally like I was getting ready to start practicing and I saw that posted and I watched it. I'm like, oh bro, you're gonna make me cry. You're gonna make me cry before the race.
I actually showed Syko before the race, and I'm surprised he didn't cry then. But it was like I guess because at that time he wasn't. It hadn't fully set in yet that he was retiring. Yeah. I guess because he was still getting ready to do the final the last dance. But then after Monza was done and he played the video on stream, I think that's when it fully clicked in, like, hey, I'm not racing in Vtracc anymore.
Yeah. It's crazy. I hope to do more races with Bossman on track and everything, either with the same vehicle or like, against each other as their teammates or like competing teams within the same team. You know how it is, all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like that would be so good.
I know he said it's not out of the question for like one-off stuff and special events, but for full-time Vtracc he's done.
Yeah. Like honestly, like if Tracker does another one of those 4-hour enduros, especially because it starts super freaking early, the past two of them. Granted, early for us Murmurkins. It's actual regular daylight hours for like the Southeast Asian people on our team, like Syko and Zul and all those types. But for you and me, it's like 2-3 a.m.
I've done it. I'll do it again.
I've done it. I'm still willing to do it a couple times. I just need to know a little bit more.
Like I said, hi, Petite Le Mans. I got up at like 2:30 in the morning to get ready for my first stint at like 3. It was like 3 or 4 in the morning was my first stint, and I had to do that. So I had a hard time going to sleep, and I could not go to sleep. And then I finally did, and I woke up. It was like 2:30. I was like, well, I guess I'm up.
Yep. Time to get ready to race.
How do real world drivers do that? Like, and even like the esports drivers, how do they do it? Because like the night before or like the day before, you're trying to get, mentally prepared and everything. How do you manage to get to sleep? Because I find it so hard to do that.
So here's my trick, because I've done this a couple of times now. And also because for my job as well, I've had to be up very, very early. Not my current job, but 2 jobs previously where I was working on military stuff. And so I had to help diagnose things halfway around the world and all of that. One thing I would do is if I know I needed to be up super, super early, like before the sunrise early, what I would do is I would intentionally, the night previously, I would intentionally get less sleep. That way, once I'm done with what I need to for that day, I can go to sleep earlier and then wake up for that early thing with that full, like, 8 hours of sleep. And that obviously doesn't work for everyone, but that's the one thing I would end up doing. and that would at least help me. Yeah, I'd be hurting the day previously to that big thing, but then like the day of the big thing, I'm like, okay, I'm actually rested. I'm actually ready. Let's do this.
Oh god, it is insane.
Mm.
Uh, to get back on track with Vtracc, because we've been going on tangents again.
So
Hi,
many tangents.
welcome to Racing Vtuber Rundown. We start on a topic, we go 20 million places, and then we somehow get back on topic, only to go back off the rails again.
I think that's how every podcast does it, though. It's like it's because it's a conversational thing where you're like, oh yeah, we kind of have a rough idea what you're talking about, but then like something else pops up and you're like, oh yeah, that's a good point. Let's talk about that too. And you're like, wait, what were you originally talking about? Oh yeah, that. Let's talk about that. But what about this as well?
Oh
But yes,
gosh.
Vtracc. Vtracc.
So you are officially,
Well, not yet. It's still
provisionally,
provisional.
provisionally, but pretty much officially, because, like I said, I'm pretty sure you don't have any penalty points coming your way, and you
Yes.
needed to lock in second place, which you did.
Yes.
So I think it's safe to say you are for sure. I think it's pretty safe to say the pro class champion for Vtracc this season.
Yeah. Apparently so. Yeah. I am the one with the 80 points to Miss Midnight's 77 and Biggie's potentially 77 as well. And it was, oh my gosh, it was so stressful. I don't think I slept that much the night before
Speaking
the
of the
Monza
lack of
race.
sleep,
Exactly. The Monza race. Essentially I needed to finish second with because so going into the champion, going to the final race, essentially it was open to four different people mathematically that could have won it. All right, it was myself, Midnight Hurricane, Biggie Hugs, and Omet. Omet is another one of our teammate drivers, and we Omet and I were the two kind of, well, and Biggie as well, the three kind of longer shots, because Midnight's she already had the 77 points and she was going to be away that race because there's a single drop round, and she had been consistently pretty solid all the way through the championship as well, a lot of second place finishes, a lot of podium finishes, um and so she was going to be at the Chinese Grand Prix for the Monza race, because I mean it's F1, like, and she is like super big into the open wheel racing as well.
oh yeah, I mean
So
she's
then,
working on her F4 license, so
oh, I think she already has her F4 license. Like, I think she's, I don't know. She got a track record, I think, as well. Like, she's very quick.
you're right. I think I was talking about like back when they were on the podcast before. They had mentioned
Yeah.
their F4 license test, and that's kind of where my
Mhm.
mind was like, oh yeah, she's working on getting her license. No, she has it already.
Yeah, she basically she does a lot of the karting IRL, and even now some open wheeling stuff as, and it's again like the talent in the Vtracc series as well. Like, you have, Midnight Hurricane, that's, again, does the professional karting, and for Chinese Formula 4. You have Ruby, that's part of the Samantha Tan Racing
But
eSports team.
she had to step down from Vtracc this weekend because she was doing the Sebring 12 with STR.
Uh-huh. Yes, exactly. I wonder how they did, actually.
Hold on, I'll tell you. But anyways, keep going. I'll tell you. I'll tell you when I find it.
Yeah, and then obviously you have Biggie is all very very skilled sim racer. Myself, who had done karting in the past, and does quite a bit of sim racing now, and then Amet, who's just she just be quick. Amet is one of the ones where you can just put her in a car and she's like, and she drove the Audi and thought it was an easy car to drive. Let me just put it that way. Like, she just built different. Um, So it is, and all of us were in fairly close contention to win the championship. If either Amit or I had finished second place, we would have enough points to pass Midnight Hurricane to become the champion. If either of us finished third and Biggie won, Biggie would have enough points to pass Midnight Hurricane and become the champion. If either Met, myself, or Biggie finished outside of second place, then Midnight Hurricane would have become the champion. So it was potentially a four-way fight for the title, and it was very, very, very close. So, the entire week, going up to it, I'm like I'm pulling up a sort of Corsa Competizione now, and I'm not usually a big fan of Monza, but this week alone, I put about 30 hours of practice.
Jeez
Yeah,
Louise.
heading up, heading. No, it's not this week. This past 2 weeks, I put about 30 hours of practice. Eight for Monza for this race. It was ridiculous. Um, and so, you're getting ready, you're doing all the practice and everything, and like you're looking at everyone else's times because everyone, in the Discord for the track that they post, hey, I'm running these times, I'm running these times, and you're looking at it, you're like, oh, okay, they're getting like the low 48s, the high 47s. I gotta get faster. So I'm like watching all these videos. I'm doing like all the data analysis. I'm like going like full. Not that I don't try hard normally because it feels weird to not try hard. That sounds weird. But like like if you're gonna be doing something, you may as well put as much effort as you can into it, type of deal.
You went from regular
Um,
tryhard to Sven mode.
a little bit, yes. Like I was like trying to get every last inch of the track and everything. Um, so the server goes live as well. The Saturday, at least for me, it was Saturday. For you, Saturday as well. And you were like, okay, okay. You do your practicing. You kind of seeing your times. Again, kind of like what I was talking about with the Kialami finale. The tension, the pressure slowly building up, building up. Um, the practice gets done. All of a sudden, next it's qualifying, and Monza qualifying is absolutely ridiculous because it's like, okay, do you try to get the toe from someone, or they're gonna slow you down in the chicanes because of that afterwards? Like it's just so much that can happen, and every last little inch of that track will gain you or lose you, a couple of tenths here and there, like because there's so few corners. Every single corner has to be done like near perfectly. And like the 40s, the 47s are definitely quick, but like the aliens are running like high 45s, low 46s. So like obviously we're not quite close to alien times, but like we're starting to get like within like like the 1-2% range, like pretty solidly close. Um So there's a chart from like the Sim Racing Alliance, like the Monza hot lap time for a D1 time. It's a 147.4. A D2 time is a 148.2, and that's optimum track 21 C air. And I think for the race it was 24, 25 C air, so a little bit warmer. So the air is gonna be less dense, so a little bit less downforce, a little bit less power as well. Um, And so, time's going to be a little bit slower. So the quality time, it was like a 147.8 for both like Amit and I. Like we were within like 0.005 of each other. So we're starting in the front row. And like for the last like 5 minutes, it was just her and I back and forth just trying so hard to improve our lap time, and neither of us could either. And we're kind of half laughing, half getting frustrated in the VC as well. Like, okay, okay, shoot, come on, let's just try to like build up a little bit more of a gap because Biggie was literally like a tenth behind us. They were thereabouts, like about a tenth behind us on the quali time, and then Syko was qualified fourth, like 3/10 behind us, something like that. So again, very, very close. And that Bentley and that Lexus, both of them, for those of you unaware in ACC, those things on the start are absolute rockets. They are
Yes.
very, very quick. They got that rapid acceleration. They're able to just put that power down and just go. Actually, the top 4 cars in quali were all naturally aspirated as well, so you couldn't rely on like one person messing up the brake turbo spool start and being a bit slow either from getting the turbo lag or from releasing the brakes too late. Like you can if like your opponent's in a 296 or a V8 Vantage or something like that. So everyone had that instantaneous torque and power because you had a Met in the Audi R8s, yeah, Biggie in the Bentley, you had Syko in the Lexus, and myself in the AMG. And so you the pressure, the tension is slowly building up even more as you're going. You're on the starting grid. You're confirming the last year setup. You're getting the fuel calcs all right and everything. If you haven't already, you're making sure like everything is pixel perfect because you were starting on the front row for a championship battle at Monza for the final race of the season. And
Luckily, not in the rain.
thank God, thank goodness it wasn't in the rain. I'd be so scared. I don't mind racing in the rain once like the race is already going, but like starts in a rain. Oh, those are the worst. Those are the worst. Because you have just a massive group of cars and you can't see anything. Like once the field begins to spread out a little bit, like okay, then you can begin making move. You can begin kind of like doing your battles and everything. But when there's just a mass of cars all just kicking up water, you can't see anything. It is just mist and fog, and you're just hoping that everyone is super predictable and that you don't miss your breaking points and all of that stuff, or no one behind you misses their breaking points either. It's shit is so scary. Starting and racing in a wet, but thankfully it was dry. It was dry the entire weekend and everything, which is good, especially for a stop and go track like Monza. So you do the formation lap. You're making sure your brakes up the temperature, your tires up the temperature and pressure. You know everything is right. You get to around Parabolica. You're starting on the outside, and that's on the inside. You see the 70 kilometers an hour thing pop up in front of you. You're trying to get right there, not going over to get the drive through, but like right there, foot just hovering on the accelerator, ready for the lights to go green. And as soon as the lights go green, you just like mash the throttle, full throttle, drag race down the straights, and of course the Bentley and the Lexus get a killer run because they got that crazy straight line performance. And so it becomes 4 wide into Monza turn 1 for the championship battle. I think if I was wearing one of those heart rate monitors during that time period, it would say error or like a syntax error, something ridiculous like that. Where it'd just be like, no, buddy, call 911. Like my heart was in my throat. I could barely speak. I could barely think. My hands are like numb and sweaty and everything, which is kind of gross. But like the amount of stress of that start and seeing going 4 wide. Oh my gosh, that was scary. I ended up losing a little bit of ground on that start. I ended up even behind Jordan Brunch, the AM class champion, after the first chicane, because Matt kind of got tapped on the rear by Biggie and kind of ended up almost blocking Syko, and I was behind Syko. Because he had gotten past me down on the straight because that Lexus is just again killer on the straights.
Right.
Um, so again, it became one of those things where you're just trying to then fight back for the position because you're like, oh shoot, that solid second place is now just gone. And the entire rest of the race, like it was a little bit more of a blur to me. I legit don't remember much. It was literally just became one of those things of just hit every single apex like near perfectly. Try to get as close as you can to like every single like track limit. Really push every single corner and like don't make any mistakes. And eventually, I ended up finishing second. I don't remember how. I think I ended up undercutting or overcutting Syko.
You did the undercut. I know you did an undercut. I don't remember if it was
Okay.
Syko or if it was you were trying to take the lead from Biggie, so you risked it on the undercut. But I do remember that you did undercut.
Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, the race was. I haven't even watched the race replay from the track.eu YouTube channel yet. I need to. I'm gonna do that later tonight, I think. Because I want to see how all that happened. Because literally after that first turn, the race was literally a blur to me. I don't remember much of it.
It was
Um,
like the flow state. You don't realize what's going on, and then when you get out of
yes,
the flow state, it's like, what happened?
yes. Or it's like Moon Knight, where you're like, all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, wait, I finished second. How? Why? Where? What?
When?
When? Uh, but yeah, no, it was just like I remember everything leading up to the start. I remember the first corner, and then after that, I legit don't remember anything else. Like I somehow managed to get by Jordan. I don't remember where. I couldn't even tell you where or how. I think I ended up passing Omet at the exit of Ascari, maybe, and I think I passed Syko somewhere at the pit stop cycle. But then after that, I think it was just trying lap after lap after lap to get within potentially 10 seconds of Biggie because obviously second place, you win the championship as well, regardless. But just in case, like I want to get within 10 seconds because if he gets a penalty, then that could be a race win as well. So further solidify the championship.
Did you
So yeah,
think coming into the season that you would even have a shot at the
absolutely
championship?
not. Absolutely not. Not even close. Like if you look at the SimGrid results page, like literally like my first two races, I finished eighth in both of them. Like, oh, the first race, I literally got tangled up with Greg on the first lap, ended up with like 30 seconds of damage. And like I'm like, oh, this it's gonna be one of those seasons. It's gonna be one of those seasons. All right, just need to keep my head down and try to like not wreck anymore. And then I ended up getting a 30-second penalty in the second race because I ended up causing a multi-car collision. Sorry, Jordan.
Sorry, Jordan. My bad.
Hey, look, I caused the wreck by trying to avoid a different wreck on that one. Zoda was a fuster cluck, shall we say?
I'm glad I avoided Zolder. Granted,
Zoda was
I didn't avoid it by choice. I was like sick that weekend.
yeah. Nah, you did good by that one was Zoda was pain, and I normally quite like Zoda actually. I do actually quite like it because it's very fun. It's genuinely gorgeous track. You have the windmills in the distance. You have the forest section. You have some elevation change. It's a very technical, very tricky track, but I love those types of tracks. So yeah, but no, that race just was a mess. Honestly, the whole season was a little bit crashy, shall we say? Because like a bunch of people got quite a few penalty points
This was the first time I'd ever seen
for
someone get a race ban.
yeah, one of the drivers got a race ban. Oh, well, technically, it's
Two
gonna be
drivers had
two
race bans,
drivers.
and I think one had a full on ban.
Yes, one even intent wrecked as well,
Yeah,
and that yeah.
yeah, it was an interesting it's an interesting way to start the 2025 year.
Yes, hopefully next season's a little bit cleaner, I think. I know it's a little bit hypocritical because I got 6 penalty points that this championship, which is a little bit high.
Not as high as some
Like, I
people.
don't think not as high as some people, true. But yeah, I think going into it, there's only gonna be one, two, three, four, technically only 4 people that did the majority of the races that are gonna have 0 penalty points. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 30. Out of 32 people, only like 4 that did the majority of the season are going to have 0 penalty points.
I know I'm in the camp of having penalty points, so I can't say much.
Oh yeah, no, I was halfway to a race ban.
I think I'm gonna get like 5 or 6 in total by the end of the starting for Monza.
6. You're gonna have about 6 if memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, because I kind of smacked Neko Kitten in the corner. Yeah. So you know, thankfully the penalties reset after every season.
For most things, one thing I was talking with Julian about is if you get enough penalty points in the final race to get a race ban,
it carries over.
You are banned for the start of you get a ban at the start of the next season.
Well, and I think one driver is going to be on probation for like the first part of the next season, right?
One driver is going to start the next season banned for one race, and the other one's going to start this next season on probation. So it's going to be
wait, there's going to be a driver that's got a race ban?
Start on probation as well.
I know of the one that's technically on probation. I didn't know that there was going to be a driver that's got a race ban.
Oh yeah, there was one person on 10 that definitely did a few oopsies at Monza. So they're going to go over the threshold. So fun.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit more of a hectic season for sure. But oh my gosh, it was still a lot of fun though. Like a lot of great races. There's a lot of really really close battles as well. It's just sometimes that's what happens when like you were just you have the really really close on pace drives and everyone's trying to get as much of an advantage as they can as well.
The adrenaline and everything,
Yes.
I don't want to keep you too long, partially because I don't want the computer to die from file size. Again, I know I've had episodes much longer, but I'm trying not to kill the PC until I can get the new one. So we'll round it off. Continental Circus, Multiclass.
Yes. I'm excited for that. I am very excited for that. It'll be my first time doing the faster class. Normally I like doing the slower class of the GT4s or the M2s or what have you. This is my first time doing being the faster class in a multi-class series. It's going to be on some really, really good tracks. It's going to be starting at Bathurst. We're starting at Bathurst.
Yep.
And then it is going to be heading to Laguna Seca for the American rounds.
Woo!
Then I love Laguna Seca. Then we're heading long haul to Japan for the Asian round at Suzuka. And then down blessing the rains, although hopefully it stays dry, in Africa for the Kyalami round. And then finally an endurance race, a 2.4 hours, so 2 hour and 24 minutes endurance race at Spa. Because, I mean, what other track would you host a long endurance race on?
Yeah. I've also just noticed I have a ridiculous amount of BOP.
Yeah, the Mustang is going to get little bit of ankle weights. To slow it down a bit.
The only track I don't have ankle weights on, Laguna Seca.
Suzuka? Laguna Seca, really? Okay.
Yeah, no, the Mustang gets hard nerfed at Suzuka. They put 19 kilos on the Mustang at Suzuka.
Oh, ripperoonie and cheese, man.
I get 25 at Bathurst, okay? I'll take 19 over 25.
Where's the AMG? So the AMG GT, the AMG Evo. Where is that? Let me find that. Oh, so I get -3, -3 at Bathurst. Okay. I get -7 at Laguna. I get where is it? 8 at Suzuka. Okay. So pretty close to neutral so far. I get I get 1 kilogram at Kielami. Okay. And then at Spa, it is -10. Okay, so pretty up and down with the AMG GT3 Evo then. So that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm
I'm
excited
nervous and
too.
I'm excited.
All right, of those tracks, because I think you've raced on all of them now.
Yes.
All right, which tracks are you most excited for? Which tracks are you most dreading for the Continental Circus?
Okay, well, I will say I haven't raced Laguna on ACC yet,
Okay, fair enough.
but I've
Laguna's
done a
fun.
lot of
You watch the
Laguna.
curves.
I've done a lot of Laguna on Gran Turismo and also iRacing. So, I mean, I just got to get used to I got to get used to Laguna on ACC, but otherwise, I know what I'm doing.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff.
I'm excited for Suzuka.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for Laguna Seca. I'm a little nervous about Kailami because, especially Cheetah.
Yeah, Cheetah's a bit scary.
And the track that I'm absolutely dreading is literally the opener of the the mini off-season season is Bathurst.
Yes.
I'm finding myself enjoying it a lot more than I did the first time I drove it.
Yes. Bathurst is definitely an acquired taste. It's like coffee or like yeah, like it's one of those things where you first start and you're like, oh god,
It's like
who
alcohol.
designed this? Yeah, exactly. It's like one of those things where you start out and you're like, who designed this? What melon thought, oh yeah, let's have GT3 cars race on a mountain road.
What
Initial G
sadist
style.
thought this was a great idea?
Yeah, I mean to be fair, it is Australians. They live in a death world.
Did you see about the new spider they found in Australia?
What? No.
They found
Did they find it even more deadly?
So you know the quote unquote deadliest spider at like before this, right? The Sydney what was it called?
I don't remember. Hang on a second. What is most deadly spider? Most deadly spider in the world. The Sydney funnel web spider.
Yes. So they found another subspecies.
Oh no.
And so the Sydney funnel web, right?
Yeah.
2 inches in length.
Mm-hmm.
With fangs sharp enough to go through shoe leather.
Oh, fun.
That has the venom that can flatline you in 15 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They found a subspecies. They found a new spider. The same exact perk kit. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Potent venom with armor piercing rounds.
Yeah.
Because I like that analogy, the fact that its fangs are literally, you know, armor piercing rounds. Double the size.
Oh.
So instead of just 2 inches, it is 4 inches in length.
Oh.
And just as deadly.
Lovely. So it's even bigger.
It's a 4-inch. It's basically the 4-inch version of the Sydney funnel web, and you know what they named it?
What?
The Newcastle Big Boy.
Newcastle Big Boy spider. Let me look this up.
It is just a bigger Sydney funnel web, and it is horrible.
Why? Oh my gosh.
The same exact kit as the Sydney funnel web too. Literally, the fangs can go through shoe leather. The venom is just as deadly. It's just in a bigger package.
You know, I understand why Australians build their racetracks the way they do now. I apologize to any Australians there, whether they're watching this, but like seriously, like y'all know that the most dangerous animals live under a rock, and like you guys are kind of like under the big rock that is Earth. So you know.
Australia for yeah, Australia. It's just and I live in basically the Australia of America, and I'm even like I'm not going near those spiders.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
have
we're like
arachnophobia
Florida
anyways.
man here.
I got arachnophobia anyways. I'm
Yeah. And
no
it's like
thank
one of
you.
those things as well. You know the one speaking of Australian not Australian man, Florida man. You know the one guy that goes around like doing the yoink in the Everglades?
Oh yeah, yoink.
Yoink. Oh gosh.
Yoink, you gonna tell me where that 20-foot python is?
Yoink. Yes. Oh my gosh. We basically saw Australia man and we're like, you know what? We can make our own we can make our own Steve Irwin. But just a little bit more Floridian.
Just more Floridian.
Mm.
I don't think I'd want that. I don't want to unleash that kind of chaos into the world. Because I mean, we already have it. We have because Robert Irwin literally is his father's son.
Yes.
He literally, like, if you see the way he describes animals and interacts with the wildlife in Australia,
Mm-hmm.
exactly like his father.
Yes.
Could you imagine if we had a version of Steve Irwin that was a Florida man and they met up with Robert Irwin? It'd be too much for the world. It'd be too much.
It would be the greatest collab ever.
Yes, but
Like,
it'd be so great that we would create a singularity that would destroy the Earth.
or some new hyper dangerous animal would just pop into existence and be like, ooh, a new challenger. Our battle will be legendary.
No, I don't need that. I don't need that.
It's like nature tries to create crazier and crazier animals, and humans are like, all right, we'll create crazier and crazier people. It is mutually assured destruction.
The animal kingdom now has a mutually assured destruction.
Oh gosh. But yeah, to be fair, as much as I like driving in single class Bathurst, I am a little bit scared for multi-class at Bathurst. The two I'm actually most scared for the multi-class is the first two. As much as I like driving them normally, in multi-class, both of those two are actually pretty scary. Bathurst and Laguna. Because both of them are a lot more technical, a lot more tighter and twisty. There's a lot fewer places to really kind of get an overtake on the slower classic car. Suzuka, especially Kialami is pretty easy to get by. And Spa is like really, really easy to get by the slower classic cars.
Well, Spa,
But
so.
like, yeah, but like Laguna and Bathurst are the two that like there are some places where you just literally do not pass.
Down the mountain.
Yep, down the mountain, out, even up the mountain after the hairpin. Like,
there's one part, and it's like right before you get to Skyline. Through I think
maybe.
What is it?
That is very risky, and it requires both you to basically like be on the same wavelength, though.
Yeah, because I know in practice when I was like through that section, like right before Skyline, because I would basically get the run up the mountain, and I was passing Alex, and because Alex is in the GT4.
You know, Alex was really, really good with the multi-class as well. He's good at facilitating those passes and really doing it in a way that makes neither of you really lose time. Like but even then, like that's during practice, during like the actual race when people were in battles and being a little bit more, dare I say, selfish. Well, yeah, it gets a bit spicy. It gets a bit spicy.
Well, I mean, if there's not a battle going on, I might try it. If I can get side by side right before Skyline, I might try it. If I notice that it's gonna be like way too close, I'm gonna back out and I'll just wait until the Conrad straight.
Yep. Thankfully, at least with Bathurst, you do have the entire like first and third sector where GT3s can easily like blow by the GT4s.
Especially since I have that NA engine now. So I get all the torque.
Yes.
Especially the Mustang torque. That Coyote engine.
Speed as well. Yes. So good.
If only it sounded like the Coyote engine and not the Jag engine.
Well, it's
ACC, I know.
It's ACC.
Kunos, give me my Corvette, please. I beg you. I know the focus is on AC Evo right now, but literally, I will give you my wallet if you give me the Corvette.
Yes, give us a Super GT4 as well, please.
That might be asking for a little too much.
Oh, sad.
At least I can, at least with the Corvette, I could at least be like, okay, it's only one more car and that's it, and then you can focus solely on AC Evo. Just please give me the Corvette. This is the only reason I'm like wanting to do more LMU and like iRacing stuff is because they have the new Corvette.
Yes. Oh, the Corvette. It sounds so good as well. It looks good.
It's so good. That is like the one mid-engine car I absolutely love is the Corvette.
I drove it in iRacing and I couldn't come to grips with it. I didn't like it as much.
Everyone else that's driven it hates it. Me and Kat love it.
It's just built different.
The American muscle, that's what it is.
The mid-engine American muscle.
Alright, I think that's where we're gonna end it, so that way we don't lose sanity.
Are we gonna actually end it this time, or is it gonna be one of those things where it's like, all right, let's end it. Oh, but what about this topic too?
No, we're
that's how it goes.
We're actually ending it this time. I promise. Where can everyone find you at, Isaac?
Oh, everyone can find me on YouTube at Isaac Umbras. If you search up that channel name, you will see I stream a bunch of retro racing games, both arcade and simulator games. I'm currently, at least as of this recording, playing through some Tokyo Extreme Racer Drift and some Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012 as well as the main games I've been playing through. So do be sure to check that out if you're interested. You get to see me have a little bit of fun with some of these old games. It's newer games as well, like I'm playing some GTA for it, but you know, it's still. So I think that's still kind of retro. That's like almost 2 decades old now.
Ah, my heart.
I'm old.
Why'd you have to say that? No, GTA 4.
I remember when that game came out.
GTA 4 is still new, I swear, I promise. I'm not that old.
I can feel the hairs on my head growing grayer than it already is in my model.
I'm becoming an old AI.
Oh no, you're gonna end up running rampant.
No, I luckily I have enough sense in like my own coding to make sure I don't run rampant. I just slowly deteriorate like an actual human.
Oh.
I just become an old man.
Oh no, Ripperoonie. You're gonna be like Vigil? What's his name in Mass Effect 1? That guy.
Yeah. I know who you're talking. I can't remember the name, but I know who you're talking about. I could see the newspaper article now. Old man AI
Vigil.
Yelling at clouds.
Vigil, yes, Vigil, the Prothean AI.
Yeah.
Oh.
Old AI starts rambling at YouTube.
Old AI yapping for eternity.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Isaac. I know it's been a while, and hopefully I'll be able to get these out soon. I still have a backlog.
Yeah, I mean, this one may get out by the end of the year, right?
No, it definitely will by the end of the year. I just can't promise when.
Yeah, no, I get that. Like, there's a lot of projects, a lot of crazy stuff being, going on and all that stuff as well.
And if people liked that retirement video I made for Syko, if they want me to start doing that for them, I might get even more busy.
Yeah, for real. Like, oh my gosh.
I have so many projects that I have lined up.
If I ever retire, you're making one of those to me too, right?
Yeah. I might try to find non-copyrighted music so I can, have that one posted on YouTube and like Track can actually use that on their broadcast.
Yeah, although I will say I'll probably end up retiring as a VTuber long before I end up retiring from sim racing. I've been enjoying this way too much, Well,
I mean, I could see you retiring from Vtracc, but still doing sim racing and like VTuber stuff.
Or like TGT and like especially the Enduros. I love the Enduros.
Yeah, no, exactly. I if you decided, because that's what Syko's doing. He's not retiring fully. He's just retiring from Vtracc.
Yeah. I'd still do like a bunch of like track stuff for sure.
Oh yeah. We're getting off on tangents again.
We are, and that is a long way away, I think. So.
So I'm in the clear on that one at least.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're off. Have a great rest of your time. You've been listening to Racing Vtuber Rundown, your one-stop pit stop for all things Racing Vtuber related.